Hey, Coach, the final 2 minutes and 13 seconds when Charlotte went on their run, uh, with them being able to come back, and this year kind of being the year you guys have billed SGA as being the key player to take the next step, being on ball. He did a lot of good, and of course, you guys know you have the win, and that's what you're out there doing. He gets the win, gets the big shot, but there were some turnovers, there were some missed free throws. From a development standpoint, is that kind of like a perfect storm when you look back at that short amount of time and go, you did a lot of good things, did some bad things, and you can move forward with it?
Yeah, I mean, it's development for everybody, not only Shea, but all the guys that were out there. You got George and Al out there that have been in those situations many times, but never with those other guys, never on this team. And there's a chemistry to getting the ball in bounds and spacing the floor and understanding kind of what everybody's going to do. So, we watched it this morning with that unit and tried to learn from it. And it's good development for not only Shea, but all those guys, for Bays, for Lou. You just have to win those moments. It might have been a perfect storm. Maybe we made a couple of mistakes. They bombed him some shots, but you're just trying to win every single moment. You're trying to win every single part of every single possession. And we could have handled that better. And there's a lot of other things in the game that we could have done better. And we tried to learn from all those things today. Just tick forward a little bit.
Go to Joe Masato with the Oklahoman.
Hey, Mark. Throughout camp, Shea was saying that he really is embracing his new role of being the primary option and the go-to guy. And obviously that was apparent even through one game. Just what have you seen from him as far as like accepting that new role and knowing that he's always going to be the target for opposing defenses now?
Well, I think, Shea's done a really good job of finding balance, all the way through. We certainly don't go in front of the team and say, hey, this is the go-to guy. We want to be a balanced team, and we want five guys working to find the best shots. Last night, Shea, they're picking him up at half court and they're showing on him, with their 5-man the majority of the night. And so it made sense to really kind of play through him and allow him to generate the advantage for us. And there's going to be nights where it's better for us to just have him get off it and let somebody else make the play. Like a great example of that last night was Al. The way they played Al last night kind of took his pops out of the game. Same with Muscala. And those guys had to play a little bit of a different role. And so I think having that balance and having five guys thinking in a way of generating the best shot, that's what we're trying to develop. And Shea doing that from a primary creator standpoint is important, because the better he does that, the more pressure it takes off him, and the less defenses can just game plan for one guy. We want to be a balanced team that finds the best shot regardless of who creates it and who shoots it.
Just as a follow-up, Shea said after the game last night that last year or even in his rookie season, he might have, replayed some bad plays in his head, like during the game, and like thought back on those. But now he's learning to just sort of look ahead. Have you seen maybe some of that maturation in him?
For sure. And I think, look, it's hard to play in the NBA. It's hard to play 34 minutes, 35 minutes, 36 minutes and carry the load that a 35-minute player carries. And, it's not easy. You got to be able to turn the page. And I think experience helps you do that. But you can't dwell in the NBA. The game's too fast. There's too many possessions. And that's something that I think every player struggles with from time to time. It's so easy. It's such an emotional game. These guys care so much about their own careers and about the team. Shea's no exception to that. But his composure is certainly smoothing out. I thought he showed great composure throughout the course of the game yesterday.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Paris Lawson, OKCThunder.com.
Hey, Coach, this is one of many quick turnarounds that you guys are going to have this season, just coming off of a game and then going into a back-to-back starting tomorrow. What do you prioritize on days like today when, you come off a tough win and then you're about to go into 2 straight games?
Well, the first priority is just everybody getting kind of mentally, physically, and emotionally recharged, but we also want to make sure we extract the lessons from the game last night and, continue to invest in an approach that's going to allow us to improve over time. And so, the whole morning, that we spent on film was spent on the Charlotte game and the lessons we can learn from that. We did not even mention tomorrow's game yet. We'll turn the page at our walkthrough tomorrow. But it's really about coming in on these days and trying to win these days, trying to just make sure that we're improving continuously throughout the course of the season and that we're leaving no lesson unlearned. And, I thought we did a nice job of that today. Our guys had good engagement.
Were there any lessons from yesterday that you kind of saw in film that you didn't necessarily see after the game yesterday?
Yeah, I think, just a little bit too much easy stuff in the first half defensively, both at the rim, which, we could have done a better job with, and with some fouling. You just can't give good teams and good players points. And, it's just tightening up that discipline. And then, that was an attack that we needed to go to offensively that we really hadn't seen in the preseason. The teams we played in the preseason didn't show us that, and we didn't do that much in practice. So I thought the guys did a really good job of kind of calibrating inside the game, and we almost learned how to attack it as the game went on, which is important. You don't want to always have to learn the lessons the next day, and that just is a testament to our guys being really present in the game and helping each other and communicating on the court. I thought we did a nice job of that last night.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll go to Nick Gallo with Thunder Broadcasting.
Mark, I don't know if you've had much time to talk with George Hill about this, but for a guy to be as efficient as he was on kind of a small number of shot attempts last year, and for him to kind of be in a situation again where he's going to get some good looks, is his efficiency as a shooter shot selection? Is it something he does in his preparation to be in rhythm? I'm just curious from your vantage point what you think maybe role players like him can do to make themselves even more efficient as shooters.
Well, I think, the first thing that I think is a great example for everybody in the gym is that his confidence, because he's a confident player, comes from his approach and comes from the consistency of his approach. He's the same guy every single day, and he puts the work in. And so that work is consistent. And that's kind of his foundation. That's what stabilizes him and stabilizes his confidence through the ups and downs. And then he just lets the game come to him. He's not going to try to impose himself on the game. He's not going to try to take a shot that's not there, make a play that's not there. He's really, really selective. He has found a great balance of aggressiveness, but also allowing plays to unfold and allowing the game to unfold. And, like I said last night, those three guys, him, Mike, and Al, are just great walking examples of what a consistent pro does every single day off the court, and also how a consistent pro plays. And, I thought last night was another example of that with George.
We'll go to Christos Saltas.
Hello, Coach. Hello from Greece. I would like to ask you how satisfied you are about the adjustment of Alexei Pokusevsky and how you evaluate his last night performance.
Really excited because of the way that he's approached everything, and I don't want to isolate him. I think our team has done a great job of sewing into an environment where, we're really focused on how we're doing things, and we're focused on growing and learning every single day and using every experience to continue to grow and learn. And he's done a really good job of that so far. It's easy to come in as a rookie and really want to prove yourself and hit home runs. But building a foundation of professional habits and on-court fundamentals is where it's at, especially with a fast-moving season. And he's done a really good job of approaching that. And to be honest with you, he went 0 for 6, I think, last night. If he went 6 for 6, it would be the same answer. We're really not focused on outcomes with the team or with him, especially with him, a rookie. We're not focused on outcomes right now. We're focused on approach. We're focused on how consistently we can start to build our environment and our habits, and he's done a really good job of buying into that.
Go to Logan Newman with Thunderwire.
Hey, Coach. Last night, George Hill played 24 minutes. Is that the plan moving forward, to keep him around that 25-minute mark, or are you hoping to ramp up his minutes as the season progresses?
We're going to play it by ear. Obviously, we're not going to play those guys till the wheels come off. In the first part of the season, it was a short training camp, and it's a condensed schedule. And especially in January, we have a lot of games on the road on quick turnarounds. And so we're just trying to put money in the bank, trying to use the depth of the team. We're confident in a lot of these guys. They've worked really hard. And that's how you build a team, I think, over the course of the season, is you trust multiple people. And, I thought last night was a great example of that. Our bench in the first half didn't play particularly well. and you have a decision to make. You can either, front load all your minutes with the starting group, or you can trust the bench and try to raise the bar. And to those guys' credit, they went out there and they did a really good job in the second half, and they extended our lead. And, ultimately they were part of the reason why we played so well. So, that goes for George and the rest of the team. We're just trying to pace the team through the season. We're going to make sure that we can sustain our energy through a 72-game season.
Steve McGeehee with News 9.
Hey, Coach, you won last night, your first game in the regular season on the road. Any emotions going into the Peak tomorrow night with your first home game as the head coach of the Thunder?
Not really, just I love being around the guys. I love being a part of the team. This is a great organization to be a part of. It's a great team to be a part of. The thing that's fun about being here is that no one's really attached as much to their own individual accomplishments or feelings as much as they are to the energy that we create together as a group. And that's what I love in terms of being a part of sport. I just love being in the locker room. I love being around the team. I love being around the guys. I love coming in the day after a game and extracting lessons, win or lose. And I think most of the people, if not all the people in the organization, feel the same way. And that's why we all get to feed off the energy that environment creates.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Last one to Daniel Bell with Black Sports Online.
Hey, Coach. Darius guarded all 5 positions yesterday, and he seems to want to really challenge himself on that end of the floor. Can you talk about what confidence that gives you guys as a coaching staff?
Well, it's similar to the answer I gave on Poku. The main confidence that we get from Darius and a lot of our players is how committed he is to a certain approach and a way of doing things. Darius has a high bar. He cares about how good of a player he's going to be. He's ambitious. He wants to get it right. And I really respect that. But the thing I respect most about him is his approach matches that. It's one thing to have goals, and it's one thing to have a high bar. It's quite another to put the work in every day to reach that bar. And that's, one thing that we're most excited about, more so than the multi-positional defense. That stuff will come. But we're most excited about with him and with most of our players, if not all of our players, the approach that they're committed to every single day and putting the work in. And like I said, win or lose, we came in today and we won the day, and we're better today than we were last night. And that's the goal throughout a long 72-game season.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.